Hi, Percussion. Now that we've reviewed rhythm, we're going to review the notes that we've learned. So a couple key concepts that I want you to take away. Before our time signature in a piece of music, there will always be a clef. And the clef that we most commonly use, especially with the mallet instruments, is this. And we call that the treble clef. And what the treble clef means is that as an instrument, we generally play higher notes. Okay, there are exceptions. The timpani plays in the bass clef. When we do snare drum is just in what's called a percussion clef. But for right now, the clef that you will be seeing is the treble clef. Okay. Now, there's a couple different tricks that we can use to remember the lines and the spaces of the staff. First off, we can put notes on any line of the staff, and that means that the line goes through the note. Okay. Or we can put notes on spaces in which the notes are between the lines. Okay. So one thing, if you're taking a look at a note, you're going to want to identify whether it is a line note or a space note. Okay. Ooh, space note sounds cool. It sounds like Star Wars. Okay. Now we have a couple tricks to remember where all the lines and all the spaces of the staff are. Okay. For the lines, we're going to use a sentence, and it's a 5-word sentence because there's 5 lines of the staff, and the first letter of each word is going to be the note that sits on that line. Okay. And so the sentence we're going to use is every good burger deserves fries. Every good burger deserves fries. Okay? We always start from the bottom and work our way to the top. Now, that means if we put a note on the first line of the staff, that would be E for every. The second line would be every good, therefore it would be a G. Then the third line would be every good burger, okay, B for burger. The fourth line would be every good burger deserves, D for deserves. And the final line is every good burger deserves fries, F for fries. Okay, so that is all the lines of the staff. Okay. For the spaces of the staff, we just use a single word to remember it. It's a 4-letter word, and each of the 4 letters fit into the spaces. Okay. The word that we use is face. F-A-C-E. And it's easy to remember because face rhymes with space. Okay. So the first space is F, then A, then C, then E. So if I put a note in the first space in between those first 2 lines, that note's going to be F, because that's the first letter of face. The second note, F-A, so therefore it's an A. The third space, F-A-C, and the fourth space, F-A-C-E. So those are all the space notes. Okay. Now, the notes that we learned last quarter are D, C, and B flat. Okay. Now here's the tricky part. We just went over that every good burger deserves fries, so that's where D would be on this fourth space. But because there's multiple D notes on our instrument, because we're playing a lower note, we're actually going to place this D below the first line of music. Okay, so this is a lower D, and this is the D that the D that we've been playing. Okay, so right below that first line is where D is. Okay. Now the C that we've learned, is even a lower note than D, but we've run out of space on the staff. So what we're going to do is extend the staff by adding another small line. Okay, and that's called a ledger line. Okay. So for our note C, we have the next line. We're extending the staff by adding another line, and then we're going to put that note on that line. Okay, and that is where C is. And then for B flat, which is an even lower note, okay, B is going to, we're going to have that same ledger line, but B, since it's an even lower note, is going to be below that line. Okay, and to make it B flat, for right now, all we have to do is put the flat in front of it. Okay, now down the road, we'll learn about another method of telling which notes are flat or sharp. That's coming down the pike, but for right now, you will see all the notes with that little flat sign in front of it. Okay, so hopefully that helps you to refresh where the notes are. I drew them as whole notes. The way that you've seen them is as 4 quarter notes. So for example, D still sits below that line, but instead of being an open circle like I drew it before, it's a closed circle. C, same thing. You'll see the note and you'll see that ledger line through. And each note will kind of, well, I ran out of space there. Each note will have its own little ledger line. They don't connect them. Forgive my poor drawing, please. And then B flat as a quarter note will look like that. Okay? And actually, one kind of minor rule that we have talked about in lessons is that if you have a flat on the first B of the measure, then all the B's after that are also going to be flat. So all of these are B flat, even though there's a flat only on the first one. Okay. So hopefully that's a good review. Hopefully that helps clarify any questions you may have had regarding reading notes. Now the rest of this Google form regards reading notes. So we did half the Google form is rhythm, half the Google form is notes. Hopefully, again, good refresher. Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, once you finish the Google form, that's your assignment for this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching the video and completing the assignment.